Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Sean Diddy Combs, you literally, if your name is Sean Diddy Combs, you literally have another accuser, another victim. And Gloria Allred, yes, that Gloria Allred has held a press conference. We're going to get into that. And let me tell you something. Diddy's Legal Eagle Smash team has decided that they are going to change the subject away from Gloria Allred by saying that Diddy's going on a hunger strike. Y'all, I asked the people at the church, do we really care? The answer is no. Regardless, y'all, buckle in. It was a live news conference. We have that. We're going to dissect it. We're going to tell you about what we know. We're going to tell you about the way that the media, including the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne and all these people, conspired to literally crush what was going on, and the victims coming out because they chose to go with a relatively young lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, and the media from TMZ on down were feeding into that narrative. Dummies on Twitter were like, oh my God, like this lawsuit has no legs. Meanwhile, the lawsuit that has no legs is the reason for the federal raid, along with Cassie's report, was the reason for the federal raid at Diddy's place. On top of that, now that the more seasoned lawyers are smelling blood, they are moving in and corroborating every single thing Little Rod, Liza Gardner, and Cassie have said in their lawsuit. Y'all, let's get into this. First, let's get into the live press conference so we can hear out of Gloria Allred's own mouth what happened. I'm going to tell you also what I've been hearing on the streets. And last but not least, we are going to get into Diddy and his fake hunger strike. And also, if you guys didn't know, now he said he talked to his children, and People Magazine leaked what was in the phone call. I know it's a private moment, but it's a moment we should all get into. Let's get into this. First, let's get into the press conference and see what is going on with that. All right, everybody, turn your volume up. Let's get into the. Just rewind this a little. Let's just rewind this.
In her lawsuit, Thalia, through her attorneys, sues Sean Diddy Combs, also known as the defendant, and another individual and other entities. The complaint alleges in part in the first cause of action that defendant Combs and another defendant committed a, quote, violation of New York City Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act by viciously and violently forcing sexual contact,
vicious and violent,
oral sex, and sexual intercourse on the plaintiff, end quote. In addition, the complaint alleges in the second cause of action that defendant Combs and another defendant.
Now, this is second calls of actions. There's a bunch of calls of actions. Already, we have what Cassie said, what Liza Gardner said, and what Little Rod said that he witnessed already confirmed. Again, they didn't want to believe it when there was an unknown lawyer, relatively unknown lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, talking about it. But now everybody's a believer and everybody wants some of this Diddy pie.
Committed a violation of New York civil rights law, quote, section 52-B, end quote, by, quote, raping plaintiff and recording it. Defendants caused plaintiff to be depicted in a video image, unclothed and with intimate body parts exposed, and engaged in sexual conduct with another person, end quote. The lawsuit also alleges that, quote, defendant Combs and another defendant published and or disseminated the videos without plaintiff's knowledge or consent. On information and belief, defendants have continued to disseminate the video, including by selling it as pornography through the present.
Okay, Pause right there. We're going to get into it. This is groundbreaking. It has long been put out by in Little Rod's lawsuit and also on this channel. I think we were the first to actually notice what was going on with what Cassie described, the 3-point camera video setup, special lighting, the way he wanted to see the freak offs remote. I literally said, was Diddy not operating like his private OF? Was he not operating his own hub? It seems like Gloria Allred not only thinks that, but she says her client has definitive proof that this is exactly what was going on. However, one thing that's very interesting about this, Diddy's people and all these people like Ray J and Charlemagne and Dr. Umar, the one to come out and defend them, let's hope they're not on those tapes, have been saying it happened a long time ago. I don't know. That's not the person I know. Young Miami happened so long ago. That's not the person I know. Funny enough, Diddy's billionaire friends and high-powered celebrities have kept their mouths shut. They are saying, and this might be why the prosecution is saying, Diddy should actually sit in jail, because they are saying that it didn't stop back then. They are still circulating Revenge P under, like literally they're circulating victims of video of them raping people with abandon, even up to this day, when you know you're under investigation by a grand jury inquiry. Again, Diddy took this as a joke. He really thought he was bigger than everyone. He thought all these D-list celebrities, Charlemagne, Ray J, and I say that as a level, I'm not even a celebrity, so baby, I can't even get to an F-rated celebrity. But my point is, he took these merry band of fools willing to protect him, and that he somehow thought that him and his lawyers and his PR people were going to run another PR inslot to make it go away. They tried it with Tyrone Blackburn, and I'm not going to lie, it almost worked. If not for YouTube, if not for Twitter, if not for Instagram, Little Rod's case and all the cases that he is represented would have been pushed out of court, because public opinion basically was, Diddy's rich, you're not. Diddy's someone, you're not. How dare you open your mouth to say anything? However, Diddy can't run the same thing with Gloria Allred. She has a name, she has a reputation, and she has been a pop culture lexicon for the last 20 years. But let's get back into this, okay? Again, breaking news, they are now saying that Diddy did not just record this for his own personal thing. Diddy recorded this.
In our complaint, we asked that, quote, defendants should be ordered to account for and destroy all copies of the video that are in their actual or constructive possession, custody, or control, end quote. And that, quote, defendants should be temporarily and permanently enjoined from further disseminating or publishing any intimate videos of plaintiff, end quote. We also allege in the third cause of action that Combs and another defendant committed a violation of New York City Administrative Code, Section 10-180, quote, recording and showing others the video of themselves violently raping the plaintiff. And the defendants disclosed an intimate image of plaintiff without her consent, end quote. As a result of these and other allegations in our complaint, we request that judgment be entered against defendants as follows. Awarding compensatory damages for all physical injuries, emotional distress, psychological harm, anxiety, humiliation, physical and emotional pain and suffering, family and social disruption, and other harm in an amount to be determined at trial.
Now, this is really
Awarding
important.
punitive damages in an amount to be determined at trial. Awarding attorneys' fees and costs pursuant to any applicable statute or law, including
why
under
is
New
this
York City
important?
Administrative Code, Section 10-1104,
Talk about that one.
New York Civil Rights Law, Section 52-B2, New York City Administrative Code, Section 10-180, and any other applicable statute or law. We're also seeking additional relief that the court may deem just and proper. As a result of what is alleged in the lawsuit, Thalia alleges that she has suffered and continues to suffer,
Thalia.
among other damages, emotional harm, including mental anguish, emotional distress, humiliation, and physical damage. In a few minutes, Thalia will speak to the impact and harm that she has suffered and continues to suffer. She will take this courageous step because she thinks that it is important that the public understand the impact that rape and other criminal acts have on those who have been victimized. Often victims do not speak publicly about the specific damages that criminal acts cause them. Some of the many reasons that victims do not speak out publicly about this include being ashamed or shamed.
It's not even being ashamed or shamed. One of the reasons that the victims have not been speaking out is because the media went out of their way to publicly shame, discredit, and laughed out. The Breakfast Club, Charlemagne, Just Hilarious, what's his name? DJ Envy went on a whole thing about the way the Diddy's victims don't have anything, laughed at the lawyer that was fighting for truth, Tyrone A. Blackburn, and said Diddy don't got any money. It's a waste of time, right? You have Ray J coming out. You have TMZ. You have Soap. You got Little Boozy. Even though Little Boozy needs to worry about why those, you know what? Let me not attack people's looks and let's just stay on topic. The whole point is the reason why so many victims didn't come out. Why didn't you come out? Look at the way when Little Rod came out. Look at the way when Cassie came out, even though he settled 24 hours later. And I'm telling you, whatever reason he settled, it wasn't because of this, the threats of the sexual assault. Cassie got some real dirt on Diddy, and Diddy settled it because he was like, wait, they might be able to connect the dots between a bang bang, a murking, or two. At least that's what I think. However, the reason people didn't come out is because what we saw unfold with Little Rod's case, who I did an interview with, for the last 4 or 5 months. It was shameful. It was disgusting. And it cracks me up the way all these big media outlets, now that the feds have proven Little Rod's case, all these wannabe court reporters, now that the feds have proven Little Rod's case, now want to be like, oh my God, Diddy has other victims, but y'all still walking past the Little Rod stuff because you realize what you tried to do. Everybody wants to talk about Diddy. Oh my God, I can't believe you did this to a black man. Is not Little Rod a black man? Seriously, even the Dr. Umars, and they all joined suit, and they were all happy to find and let somebody get away with this if they could have their hands out. But let's continue. I digress. Let's continue.
For this. But we believe that victims should not be shamed, and instead those who committed the criminal acts against them should be ashamed and take responsibility for the harm that they have caused victims to suffer. We are very proud of Thalia for speaking out today in order to help
This is Thalia.
victims of rape and other acts of sexual violence against them. In addition, we thank our co-counsel, Marianne Wang, Heather Gregoria, and Jasly Liriano for their exceptional legal work on this complaint. Our goal for Thalia is very simple. We want justice for her, and we are looking forward to winning it. It is long overdue for those who have caused her to suffer to be held accountable.
All right, so we're about to hear from the victim. Interestingly enough, she is not a black woman. Now, why is that important? Because last night, if you saw Chris Cuomo, right? Ray J's trifling self, who Senegal said it's worse than Diddy. And we saw him on live stream trying to gaslight his children after they saw him lay hands or something and feet. Maybe we'll see what happens with Princess Love. Princess Love said she is going to court and she is not staying quiet. He tried to say that this is an issue of a black hero within the black American community. And it should be settled within the black American community. We should not be pointing fingers. We should not be accusing. This is a time to uplift Diddy because he's done so much for the black community. This is a time to uplift Diddy and not blame him. And hopefully this can be a teaching lesson for future generations. They literally tried that. And I'm going to tell you, like Cat Williams said, before we get into this young woman's testimony, like Cat Williams said, we are going to have to divest ourselves of the thought that people that look like us are automatically on our same side. Now, yes, I get it, but we're going to have to, because what's happening in the Diddy trial is all of these, his friends and his cohorts that, in my opinion, were probably taking part and slapping hands and right? They are now protecting him because if they know that if Diddy goes, they go next. And let me tell you something. I've been hearing a lot of these people aren't really afraid of being locked up. They're afraid of losing their money, their respect, and their income. Ray J sat there and told us that Diddy's parties were nice, inspirational places where they could go as Black men and recharge and feel good. That nobody saw anything Diddy was doing. It was just an inspirational place, and they could go home early in time to get up and go to work. And we felt recharged to go to work because we had communed. Y'all, again, it's shameful. It's disgusting. And at this point, we need to be calling out everyone that's doing this, including the media outlets. At this day, I see, oh, you're going to be mad when this person gets indicted. You're going to be mad. Listen, I'll tell you one thing on this channel. We stand with principles. Ain't no video. There is no movie. There is nothing anybody did for me, whether that's giving me life or not, to make me ignore them being a monster. And it is disgusting. As much as some people want to write out, that's my friend. Oh, I like them. Oh, I like that. Baby, on this channel, we don't play favorites. Everybody can get it. If you on some demon time, baby, we going to expose you. And we don't care who you are. Now, yes, we do need a little bit more proof besides some crazy person's rantings. But once that proof is there, baby, we go 10 toes down, i.e., see Exhibit 1, the way we covered this Diddy. But let's keep going and hear from this young lady. And I want to see how the Ray J's and the Dr. Umar turn it into, we just need to keep this an issue in the Black community. I'm waiting for Dr. Umar to turn into, they're going to take a Black man down. Why am I singling out Dr. Umar? It's crazy to me that people that, maybe respect is a too far word, but the way there are all these people that we at least thought were on the side of good, right? Despite personal failings, we're on the side of good and genuinely would never let that happen. We are now seeing that, yeah, they would do it for a check. Like Kendrick said, there's a lot of goofies with a check. Anyway, let's get back into hearing this young lady speak her truth.
Okay, a little more.
Oh.
The internal pain after being sexually assaulted has been incredibly deep and hard to put into words. It goes beyond just physical harm caused by and during the assault. It's a pain that reaches into your very core of who you are and leaving emotional scars that may never fully heal. Some of the hardest parts of this pain are the shame and the guilt I have experienced that plays a negative part in my day-to-day ability to function properly. Being blamed, questioned, and threatened has often made me feel worthless, isolated, and sometimes responsible for what happened to me. My family issues made the pain even worse. I was already going through a divorce at the time of the assault
Oh, wow.
and did not get the support that I needed. I was also faced with disbelief and judgment. This has put a strain on my selection of men and relationships.
Wow.
But many relationships became aggressive and abusive, which has made me feel even more alone in my struggles. I go through spells of being distant and withdrawn that it's sometimes so hard to leave my house.
Oh,
The trauma of the assault has taken a toll on my mental health. I've had PTSD, depression, and anxiety. I'm emotionally scarred. It has been hard for me to trust others, to form healthy relationships, or even feel safe in my own skin. Flashbacks, nightmares, and intrusive thoughts make me feel like it's a constant struggle. I also suffer with physical problems such as chronic pain, sexual discomfort. The violation I have experienced during the assault has had lasting effects on my body,
oh,
causing
wow.
ongoing health problems and complications.
Oh my gosh.
The combination of physical and emotional pain has created a cycle of suffering from which it is so hard to break free. I want to continue on this journey towards recovery and healing. I'm glad that he is locked up, but that's a temporary feeling of relief.
Wow.
Dahlia is not going to be taking any questions, but I'll be happy to take some questions.
All right, let's take these questions.
Corey, can you talk about the context of this assault? What, where, when?
Now, really quick, she's about to get into the details, but I want to point out that people are saying when Gloria Allred is involved, shout out to Diddy G for being a new member. Rapper Israel says, when Gloria Allred is involved, I'm skeptical. First of all, people can call Gloria Allred an ambulance chaser all she wants. She has gotten settlements and brought down some of the most powerful men. Again, it's odd to me that Diddy's lawyers, someone defending what we can say objectively from what we've seen is a monster, right? Somebody do this. Oh, what? They're legit. It's weird to me the way people are trying to play into this narrative that because you got money, you are the right one. All these women, all these men, and let me tell you something, all of these co-workers that are probably going to sue and all of these lawsuits that are about to, they have been stayed during the until the federal investigation is over. All these lawsuits, okay, all of them are going to come to pass. Everyone's not lying. And now Diddy's people know what's happening. And they're like, well, he was in a haze for like 15 years. He doesn't remember what he did. Okay, well, if you got drunk and killed a family on 405, guess what? It doesn't matter whether you remember what you did. You are still going down. Mel Bethel said, the same black men supporting Trump, what is to twist ourselves into pretzels and support a black man like Diddy? Boy, bye. Here's my whole point, right? Because y'all know, right? I was raised by a strong black man. You know, the black men that are related to me, it's all good. This is not about black men. This is about that celebrity culture and friends of Diddy. It is disappointing to me that while he prayed most in the black culture, it is only his black men cohorts conspirators, whatever, they happen to be Black, but the men that are coming out and speaking publicly about Diddy are in fact Black, and they are making pleas to the community that we should turn the other eye, don't point fingers, and lift him up and pray it away. Baby, I am not my great grandma. I ain't praying ish away. The only thing I'm praying for is that thy will be done. And right now, the Lord's will looks like he wants you in jail. And who am I not to delight at the Lord doing his will? He told me to delight in the birds singing, the flowers blooming, and Diddy literally in jail crying because whoever was guiding him, looks like the devil, is Diddy. They can't protect Diddy any longer. My Lord tells me to delight when he makes it for somebody else's downfall. But all jokes aside, right? You know, it's disappointing. The Hollywood people, the people of other, they know not to open their mouth about Diddy. Where's Ashton Kutcher? Where's all of Diddy's? Look, where's Ron Perlman? Where's all these people that were like this? Where's Ron Burkle, the billionaire that got money, that control the media? Where's all the counterparts that are not a part of the community? Why aren't they defending Diddy? You think that there's something that they know that we don't know, that they're just like, oh, you on your own? But the fact that the Ray J's, the Dr. Umars, the Charlemagnes are coming out and trying to run independent interference is disgusting and sick. And baby, this is a new day. We are not our great grandmothers. Baby, we ain't praying nothing away, and we are not protecting a monster. So when they leave, you can start praying on us again. Get out of here. Amy Simmons, thank you so much for gifting a membership. And also, Toddy, too cute for you, said Tisa. You sound like you're getting sick, beautiful. Get some honey and ginger tea because we need you to continue giving us tea. You guys, thank you for your continued prayers. We're going to get back into the press conference. Gloria Alford is going to give us the details. But you guys, I'm not getting sick. I actually went to a celebration of a good friend, and we were going crazy. You know, my hyper loud self was the first person screaming out, "Hey!" So I lost my voice a little bit, just having fun. Don't worry, God got me. This is the after effects of having fun, but I'm drinking honey and the voice is good. I do want to say to everyone again, this is not going to turn into a Black man, Black woman thing. Listen, we all know, I don't even got to say it. My life is proof of it. The fact it's not, we can't even say Black men. It's the people that are close to Diddy that are trying to weaponize an old hurt from the community. They're trying to weaponize it so that we feel pity for Diddy, at least in my the way I see it. And we kind of say, oh, we'll handle this internally. Nah. You was fine to let him run amok and was sitting on mute. So why don't you do what Ashton Kutcher and Ron Burkle and people from the other communities are doing and sit on mute too? It's not going to work. And now people, it's so far gone, people are looking at you a little strange. But you got to ask, why is Charlemagne doing this? Why is Ray J doing this? Why is Dr. Umar doing this? For a check? And there's a lot more. These are the people on my mind. For a check? Or are you on some of those tapes? I'm just saying.
Question is, can I speak about the context of this alleged assault? No.
Gloria, can you just speak on, I know it's difficult for your client going through this, but what prompted her to come forward now?
It was time to file this lawsuit.
Gloria, what do you know about the video that was allegedly recorded during the alleged audition?
Question is, what do I know about the video that was recorded?
Yeah, what do you know? Where is it now? Is it still, where is the video?
Yeah. There are many details in the complaint. The complaint alleges that it was taken without her knowledge and consent, that she wouldn't have consented, that it was then published and viewed by others, and may still be out there being viewed.
Gloria, do the allegations in this complaint overlap in any way with the criminal charges against Mr. Combs?
The question is, does this complaint overlap with the criminal charges that have been filed?
We love a stunt
My
girl.
understanding of the criminal charges are, the charges are sex trafficking, RICO, and transportation of a prostitute. We are not alleging any of those criminal charges in our complaint.
Has she been in touch with federal prosecutors at all?
Question is, have I been in touch?
Has you or your client been in touch with federal prosecutors about allegations?
About this? I have no comment.
Oh, now why is that no comment very important? Besides Gloria Allred being a stunt queen speaking, the question is, have we been in contact with the federal prosecutors? Even Dahlia next to her is like, are you going to answer that? But let me stop making jokes, right? Why is this important? Because she says no comment. Clearly she has, right? But the thing that everybody needs to remember is when it comes to this deal, these charges, they're not the end. They're not the end. They are merely the beginning. This is an ongoing investigation. More charges are coming. More people will be indicted. And maybe they're doing what I still don't understand Dr. Umar, Ray J, and Charlemagne. Not one person speaks out for the victims. Not one person gives an ounce of sympathy. Again, these are people that basically, in my opinion, are looking at these victims as party favors. Again, this is the mentality. This is the culture. And if all of them need to go down in order for us to clean up the culture and have a more healthy, safe space, then they just gonna go down. Ray J hasn't given us anything since Wait a Minute, and that pop wasn't even hitting like that. Diddy, the whole catalog can go in the trash. Again, it's nothing you gave me. Charlemagne, I don't need you and DJ Envy. Like, they've lost touch. They're not even that funny anymore. Like, go. And Dr. Umar, I mean, he always going to be a key. But now I'm looking at him strange because as much as you speak out for the women of the community, if you are willing to let this happen and actually stand by the side, then what do you really believe and what are you really into? And what are you not just saying just to literally get a coin? And you're just literally pandering to these women you say you love because they like hearing somebody say it. But at the end of the day, you on the side with Diddy and all his friends. Anyway, Mel Bethel said, she's Gloria Allred is representing one of the many victims, and you skeptical. They all skeptical because at the end of the day, and this is what I'm going to say, it's not just black men, it's men. There's a certain type of man that really wants to be famous, really wants to make that money, really wants to be on stage because they heard the stories. Them girls be letting you do anything. When they see you sing a song, they be letting you run trains. They be letting you do this. They were raised with this misogynist fantasy that when you get money and you get fame, women let you do anything. And you can do anything that anybody spit in their face, slap them. You can pillage women. You can do anything and won't nobody stop you. They're going to say, thank you for more. Diddy is ruining their fantasy because now we're seeing a lot of these women were forced. A lot of these women were coerced. A lot of these women didn't have a choice. A lot of these women were rugged. That fantasy that when you get money or power, women lay down like mats and let you ravage them. We are now seeing that is all a lie. It is cap. It's cap. And they're mad that they're like, wait, I might get money one day. I want to be able to do all this to women. They were never doing it voluntarily. And if they were, it was like a 0.01%. It wasn't. Now we're seeing the ugly truth. The way like judgmental aunties would look at, oh, they just being fast. No, they weren't. This is the truth. This is what's happening. And there's a lot of men regardless of the color, that have not, and women too, that have not divested them from the fact of that dream is over. It is no longer in 2024 acceptable to treat anybody this way because they are sharing their body with you. And even if they consent to it, there's some things that's like, yeah, that's illegal. You cannot do that. The same way somebody consented to you cutting their arm off in foreplay, they would be in jail. That is illegal. You just can't do this. Oh, what happens in the privacy of the house? That's between the two people. Yeah, within the confines of the law. Within the confines of the law. If two people agree, it's going to be the biggest thing I ever did. I want you to murk me mid-session. Oh, that was two private consenting adults. Yeah, but murking is illegal. So sorry, we stepping in. I don't care. This is what y'all do. I don't care you have a signed confession. I don't care you have this and that. It's illegal to murk someone, whether or not they wanted to get their rocks off or not. You cannot do that. You are going into jail. There are limits to everything. And just because things take place within the privacy of one's house, you have to leave room for the fact of when people say something happened in the privacy of that house, they have the right to also say that's not what happened. Again, these people don't want to divest themselves of the fact that when they get enough money and power, they too can be demons. Okay. You looked at Bad Boy when Diddy was stealing everybody's publishings and taking everybody's rights. Why were the people staying around? Why were they still going on reunions and tours and this and that? Well, on one hand, money's money, right? Maybe even though Diddy was only paying them 1/20th of what they were, they still wanted that money. It could have been that this is their dream. They still want to do it. They're not doing it for the money. But I think a lot of them, well, not a lot, but I do want to say some of them were still around Diddy because at the end of the day, they liked the perks. They weren't getting the money they should have. They weren't getting, but they loved that fame and they loved being in Diddy's world. But when the champagne started flowing and the spiked Ciroc bottles started flowing, they loved having access to be able to ravage and use and take advantage of people. So there you go. Tisa, do you think the feds have their tape and evidence? That's an important one. I do think that if they were able to get the tape, that the feds 100% have it in evidence. I do think that Gloria Allred actually talked to Diddy, right? Told him what he had. Diddy said, oh, his team was like, oh, well, so just like he did with Cassie and Little Rod and everything. And I do think at the end of the day, Diddy's people now have trolls in everybody's comments and everybody's things talking about, oh my God, how was this? And making nonsensical arguments because they want to derail the conversation. But it's not going to happen. We're not going to let it derail. Too much has come out. I understand in the beginning, y'all remember Tattletales, where we were fighting the good fight and believing Cassie, believing Little Rod, believing all these accusers. And we were in the minority because people were doing this. It's changed. The public is paying attention now, and they now realize, yeah, no. All right. Also, Super Christian My World, Super Christian My World said, when you don't remember something, someone else will. Exactly. When you don't remember something, someone else will. Again, Diddy is literally turning into the real life Weinstein, the real life Bill Cosby, the real life Jeffrey Epstein. But heavy on the Bill Cosby. When Bill Cosby was first started, and also Diddy's image being a perfect dad, and he might be a flawed mate, but he keep you fly. He was feeding in and hiding behind fantasies, tropes, and society architects so he could hide because he manipulated that image. He knows how much we respect good, loving fathers. He knows how much we respect men that are protectors and providers. And he put on that public image, but y'all got to realize, I know y'all do, but people got to realize that is over. Diddy was never that person. You fell in love with a Sims. You fell in love with a Sims character. You fell in love with an avatar. You fell in love with a lie. And that's what it is. And they still acting like we believe in the lie. Also, again, to that point, when you don't remember, someone else will. This whole I don't remember, it's turning into a Bill Cosby. Remember at the beginning when the woman came out of Bill Cosby and everybody was like, how dare you? How dare you? Because we was thinking about him as like, Cliff, right? Clifford Huxtable. However, as the evidence came out, even the most staunch supporter had to remember, no, that's not what happened. And then they started making the sympathy ploy. He's old, he's frail, he's not this and that. Diddy is already trying this. He's not eating. Somebody said he's not eating because he's afraid that somebody put something in his food. But if Diddy's afraid of that, then doesn't that mean that I'll be sure for that? Well, we'll come back to that. Let me get to the chat, and then we're going to get back into the press conference. Monsters protect monsters. Thank you so much, the real Empress. Chantilla Kent said Diddy is diabolical. Not only does he look like Satan, he behaves like him. From your lips to God's ears, Chantilla. Glory, thank you so much for the super chat. Holistic Mystic said Astro Breakdown Live need 8 more subs. Holistic Mystic, that was very rude. But let's keep going. Katrina Mitchell said, these so-called men supporting this aren't men. Exactly. And that's what we're missing. These men don't stand for our community. They don't represent our community. Only the brightest, the strongest, the most caring. They are the ones that stand for our community. So at the end of the day, don't tell us about anything about Black men. You do not speak for Black men because you are not the average Black man. The average Black man is strong, a protector, a provider, somebody that nurtures, somebody that loves being with their children. That's a Black man. And you are not the Black man that stands for our community. And I'm sick of them being put out by media and themselves that they stand and we have to protect them. You are not the average Black man. Get out of here. Let the real Black men that actually protect and provide and steer our community, let them come forward and speak, Anyway, Katrina Mitchell said, these so-called men supporting them aren't men. Emily Pacera said, thank you so much, Tisa, for being an advocate, a voice for these victims. I'm a corrections nurse, and Diddy is where he belongs. Keep up this, and shout out to you for doing the God's work. Diddy is where he belongs. Keep up the amazing hard work. We appreciate you for all the Tisa tells you. Thank you so much, Emily. I appreciate that. Also, WB said, girl, I heard Diddy is a power bottom. Yo, let's get back to this press conference. Hold on.
Pardon me?
Grand jury, federal prosecutors, or grand jury has Ms. Graves spoke to either?
Is the question, has she testified before the grand jury? Is that the question? Let's put this way. I never comment on whether any of my clients have testified before the grand jury.
That's a yes.
Or will testify.
That's a yes.
Before the grand jury.
That's a yes.
Since the grand jury is a secret proceeding.
Secret proceeding.
Gloria, this other defendant in the video, alleged defendant, is this a celebrity?
It is the other defendant alleged to be in the video, and what was the remainder of your question?
Is that person, that alleged defendant, is that person a celebrity?
Is the person that has not been named by me a celebrity? Not as far as I know.
She is such a scent queen. I
Gloria,
love her.
as disturbing as the video may be, have you yourself laid eyes on the video?
That was a good one.
Have I looked at the video? No,
Oh, so it
I
might.
have not viewed the video, nor do I wish to view the video, nor should anyone else
the Fed
view
actually might
the
have.
video, with the exception of if law enforcement and a court believe that they should and are permitted to view a pornographic video as evidence in the case.
Yo.
If they have it, then that would be it.
Okay. So
Gloria,
let's
to be
do have.
clear,
We don't ever view pornographic videos, even if they might end up being evidence in the case. And we do not transmit any such video, if we have it, to any other person, because we do not think it is permitted under the law.
All right, damn, Gloria, we got it.
Gloria, Elizabeth Wagnister from CNN.
Would you please speak up? It's hard to hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm back here and a bit short. In the complaint, you noted that your client learned about this video in November 2023. That is around the time of the first public lawsuit, at least, against Sean Combs from his ex-girlfriend Cassie. I'm curious how you and your client learned about the existence of this video.
You're saying that this incident is alleged to have occurred about the time of another lawsuit having the, I'm sorry, I can't understand your question.
Per the complaint, this alleged incident occurred in 2001, but your client learned about the existence of the video in 2023, more than 20 years after.
Okay,
I'm curious how she learned about the existence of that video.
that's a good question.
Yeah, so the question is, she alleges that the incident took place in 2001, but you are saying that it is alleged in the complaint that was filed that she learned about it in 2022. And then the question is, how did she learn about it? We have no comment in response to that question.
Gloria, has Diddy reached out to your client?
Oh, this is a good one. So really quick, just to bring you guys up to speed, they are saying that, you know, when you sue someone, not right, there's two times you can bring action. One, when the event happens, right? Because of course you were there, you had knowledge. But two, when you have knowledge that the event happened. So she's saying that even though this happened 20 years ago, she just found out that Diddy taped it, that they rugged her, and that it is being sent and shared as choreograph, as a, I can't even say it. Gloria outright gonna get me demonetized. But that is what is going on. She just found out that this video is in existence, okay? She knew what had happened to her body and stuff like that. She said she suffers, that she can't even have normal anymore and all this stuff. However, it was an additional slight that not only was it taped without her knowledge, not only did she not remember what was happening in it, but she found out about it because it was still being sold and passed around. That video up to this day, that it was still being sold and passed around. Denise one said, my father is a real Black man. Shout out to all the real Black men fathers. My father will never support what Diddy did to women and men. He is a protector of women and children. My father too. My family, everyone. Shout out to all the real Black men. And I'm sick of the Dr. Umars. I'm sick of the Charlemagnes. I'm sick of the Ray J's. I'm sick of all of them that want to come in front in the camera and be like, we speak for Black men. And as Black men, we feel y'all not real Black men. Get out the way and let the men that actually hold up our community get out up front and speak and tell us what they think. Because I guarantee you something, what they think is what the women are feeling too. I'm just saying. Katrina Mitchell said Diddy has blood on his hands and he is a sicko. He is one of the biggest sicko. Okay. T. Rosie, thank you so much for the super chat. Tracy Williams, thank you for the super chat. And shout out to Katrina. He does have, listen, he got something on his hands. I just know he got something on his hands. Let's keep going.
Has Diddy reached out to your client?
Question is, has Diddy reached out to her? We will not comment on that either.
Gloria, I know this is very difficult for the clients, but would you be able to share a little bit of her background? Where did she come from, or what did she do? Can you give us some details about your practice?
No, I can't provide further details about where she came from or what she does.
Gloria, to your knowledge, has any law enforcement agency reviewed this video for possible criminal charges?
So is the question, has any criminal law enforcement, has any law enforcement agency
Viewed the video for possible criminal charges?
viewed the video?
I can't speak on that.
I'm not able to answer that question.
So they have used the
Your
video.
client says that she was threatened
Keep going.
after this alleged attack. Can you elaborate on those threats?
Question is, can I elaborate on the allegation that she was threatened after the attacks. And no, because really I'm not able to comment on or expand upon
Mhm.
any evidence or anything that might have evidentiary value at this time.
Lori, there's an allegation in the lawsuit that the video was made available for sale. Can you elaborate on that? And was Mr.
Yes, this is
Combs
good.
There's an allegation that the video was made available to whom?
for sale? For purchase?
Oh, that was made available for sale.
Yeah.
That's new. There have been other accusers, other women who have said that they believe they were filmed and that the videos were shared, but I think this might be the first complaint allegation that the video was made available for sale somehow.
I have not compared what we have alleged in the lawsuit to what others have previously alleged in their lawsuits. So I can't tell you whether this is the first that has alleged that this video was made available for sale or not.
Would Mr. Combs be involved in that alleged sale?
There are no other details that we can provide.
So you filed
Pause. Okay, so the questions we have to ask ourselves are, is there an actual video? If there's an actual video, Diddy is done. I would say with this young woman and her claims, most people would be like, why hasn't Diddy settled? But at the end of the day, did Diddy settle with Cassie? Diddy owed Little Rod, I think it was 20 or 40,000 somewhere in that thing. He only had to pay that money and he would go about his business. Little Rod filed a lawsuit to get his money and also to expose him and all the trauma he went through. Diddy could have literally just paid that man the money he was owed for his publishing rights, and all this could have gone away. Diddy could have paid Cassie the money she was owed. But at the end of the day, I feel like someone disrespects you, someone dehumanizes you, and then you're like, all right, just give me my cash so I can go. And they laugh in your face. That's too much. That's too much disrespect for anyone to take. Chantilla Kit said, hit that like and share before Tisa start fussing. Y'all know me too well. Y'all, let me see how many likes I got. There are about 8,700 people in the live stream, and I have 2,500 likes that I am eternally grateful for. Y'all, you know, let's move on. Thank you. Let's move on. Also, we got, can y'all hit that like button? Can y'all share? Yes, Chantilla, you are right. I'm about to start fussing. Amy Simmons, thank you so much for the super chat. Hit that like and subscribe, y'all. Oh, also, if you are joining, I slowed the chat down to subscribers only because there were a lot of paid Diddy trolls talking crazy, doing this, doing that. We don't got time for that, baby. The real black men are in the chat. They got them out of there. We don't got time for that. And Light and One said, pray those who turn Diddy out. Oh, pray those who also turn Diddy out will also be brought down. They have been in charge for too long. Prayers to Tevin Campbell also. And Light and One, that's a good point. That's a good point. Prayers for those that turn Diddy out. However, the more this lawsuit comes out, I'm literally wondering, did anyone turn Diddy out? Or did Diddy find his like source? And they all need to be held accountable. But you look at Jeffrey Dahmer. Did anybody turn Jeffrey out? Did they give him his first taste of human? Did they turn him out? Or was he always there? And baby, he found like went to light. But yeah, I pray that if Diddy was turned out, first of all, Diddy needs to be held accountable. And so does everybody else. Again, if someone is touching on youngins, right? Yeah, they could have been touched themselves. But baby, you're going to pay for what you did and spreading that evil. And then we're going to go after everybody that started and spread their evil into you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we are on the same page. Kyle Williams said, Tisa, how do you feel if his daughter how would you feel if his daughters did it? I would feel the same way. I'm glad his daughters are being quiet. I would feel the same way. I don't care if women come out and protect them or men. The fact that Ray J, Umar, and Charlemagne and that ilk are coming out speaking on behalf of black men and telling the black, you don't speak for black men. You guys are not real black men. Ray J, you just gaslit your children so they didn't say anything about you laying hands and feet on Princess, right? Charlemagne, you got weird cases. Why are you around? Dr. Umar, I don't even know what to say. I always thought he was funny, but now that I look at him as like, he's an op. He is an op. He's an op. He is willing to do anything for money, or maybe he's protecting him, or maybe he really believes this. But at the end of the day, no matter how much I find somebody amusing, funny, or whatever, and this is why some people get mad at me, I stand with principles. This ain't a Stan account. I stand with principles. I don't care if Monday I said, oh my God, I think they're so great. And people are like, oh, now you changing your words. Oh, now you MF them right. I don't care if Monday I literally said you were the second coming of whatever. I don't care if I was singing your praises on Monday. If on Tuesday I found out you did some stuff, baby, you got me twisted. I don't support you because there's something, I don't see myself in you. I don't support. I see someone that I want to help promote because we are aligned in principles. You see the world, that you want to make the world a better place. You want to do no harm. You want to uplift. But the minute I find out that you are doing some stuff that as a principle, I cannot stand behind, I will throw you under the bus quicker than anything. My friends know, don't do any messed up stuff and think that I'm going to be out there supporting you. Talking about, oh, well, that's my friend. We've had a friendship. I don't give a F. I will be like, oh my God, I'm so messed up in my mind that I actually supported someone that I respected, supported somebody that I thought was a friend, and I find out that they did this messed up stuff. Again, I'm a friend to the end. But when we get into evil, I ain't supporting you on that. I'm not. Anything else, yeah, we can rock with. I'll have your back no matter what. Evil, you on your own. And I think a lot of people need to get out of that stand, that's my friend. Okay, so if you stand with evil, fine. I stand with people who have the principles and ideals and the vision of the world that I feel like I do. And the minute I feel like you don't, yeah, we're not on the same side. And I'm not defending you. I don't care if I just defended you 5 minutes ago. That was old Tisa. New Tisa that has new information that can make critical, that can think critically, that can literally assimilate new information and put it and let that revise my frame of the way I look at the world. New Tisa, not the one 5 minutes is like, oh yeah, no. And again, I feel like a lot of people online are like, oh, my friend, or they did something, and these weird symbiotic relationships. These people don't know you, but even if they were your best friend of 20 years, I found out my best friend of 20 years is doing this mess. Now, don't get me wrong. If I found out it was accusation, I'd be like, yo, what are they talking about? If you can't show me any definitive proof in 5 seconds that they are lying, yeah, I'm looking at you strange. And I'm looking at you strange. So if his daughters came out and said this, or if they said it, or even if they did these things, I would feel the exact same way. Y'all don't know me. I don't stand with the whole man, woman, gender. Like, those are all things that they put in our heads to confuse us. It's manipulation. I stand with, are you doing right by yourself, the people you love in the world? If you're not, and if you want some demon time, baby, I don't stand with demons. I don't care. There's nothing you gave me. You could even have given me life. Oh, well, I don't stand by your side, and I'm not going to stand by your side. And it's weird to me, people that would stand by the side of evil, just because the devil does nice things for people all the time. Okay. Okay. Anyway, and if his daughters did it, I would feel the same way. Katrina Mitchell said the first time Kim used that toy, it was over for Diddy. Yeah, I know it was. Oh no, that's Mo said, Diddy, we're the ones. Oh, Diddy was the one of the most. Diddy, we to one of the most stand at Catholic schools. Lord, Diddy actually was one of the most staunch defenders of Catholic schools. Did he go to a Catholic school? They said, Lord knows that's how I started. That's how the Catholic Church got away with that shit for decades. And I barely curse, but let's call it what it is. Shit. They got away with it for decades because people were like, no, but Father Madigan is a good man. He's done this. He was at my baby's christening. He married us. He did this. And guess what? He was taking them altar boys around the bend and ruining people He was a demon among the midst, but so many people in the Catholic Church decided to stand and ignore it for so long because he was nice to me, and I can't believe, because they were bound to their fantasy that they saw themselves in this person, and they didn't want to destroy their own ego and realize you're protecting a fantasy, right? Again, people will do strange things. That's why you have to go inside yourself and be like, wait a second, does this even make any sense? You know? Mega the God said, I don't like how our community judges before the trial and evidence, but it's something that no female friends came out in defense of the diddler. Listen, if something is a murking charge, if something is a robbery charge, maybe. But as women, the reason when these charges come out, as women, we know how hard it is to be believed. We know what it is. The evidence that was presented and corroborated, right? And was corroborated. Yeah. We judged before the trial. No, we want them held accountable. Diddy had the right before the trial to say everybody was lying. And his lawyers put out evidence of why they didn't want us to believe us. They even said to Tyrone Blackburn, Little Rod's attorney, practicing the law is a privilege. Okay. And baby, please. No, we all know as women, again, we'll see what's going to happen. And I get that. But in cases like this, when there is a mountain of evidence, yeah, okay, I feel confident to go out on a limb. If it was just one person one-on-one, okay, fine. I feel confident to go out on a limb. Koki's Casino said, who in 2023 would have been solicited to buy this video, and that law enforcement intercept and contacted the victim? That's a good point. We'll have to see what is going on with the video. Make sure you guys actually also hit that. Make sure you guys hit that thing. And again, let me just say this. This woman, well, as with everybody, we will have to see the validity of her claims. One of the reasons why she seems more believable is because there's a billion other people like Cassie and Little Rod that have real concrete evidence. So we will see in a court of law. And let me just say this. If this woman is lying, if she is a con artist, if she is anything, then she will be held accountable. The law is a beautiful thing. But right now, her story, joined with the voices that have shown us credible proof. Little Rod put pictures, screenshots, videos. He got proof upon proof upon proof upon proof upon proof upon days. Cassie, proof upon proof upon proof. If this woman is lying, telling the truth, or putting 20 on 10, then that will be made apparent too. We don't got to worry. You guys, the universe deals in art. But even if this woman turns out to be a huge liar and an opportunist, guess what? Guess what? Hold on really quick. Even if she turns out to be the biggest opportunist in the world, guess what? There's still 30 other people that got real proof. So yeah, we're just going to have to see. Also, let's see. Yeah, we will see about this tape they say exists. We're going to have to see. Also, Thelma Jordan, thank you so much for the super sticker. Also, Flechette Robertson said, Tisa, I really hope that they have you in the Hollywood Diddy plus others victim testimonial documentary on Hulu and Netflix. This is wickedly perverted and horrific. Flechette, it is. I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen. I'm down to amplify my voice however I can to make sure that Diddy's held accountable. Cassidy Collins says, Tisa, do you know why people keep making negative comments about Gloria in the chat? I don't know anything about her, but I've seen a few people say she sabotages her clients. Now, I don't know about sabotaging her clients. I do know that a lot of people call her an ambulance chaser. However, when you deal with essay assault, a lot of people have settled with her. When you deal with essay assault, the first thing that you see they do, much like they try to do with Douglas Wigdor and Tyrone Blackburn, they try to discredit you. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether your attorney is new, old, ambulance chaser. It doesn't matter. Do you have a case or not? It's cracking me up the way Diddy's lawyers, who have defended some of the most scum of the earth, by the way, I mean scum. And how do we know that? Because they were convicted for being scum, has convicted some of the scum of the earth, is now talking about the right to practice, who should do this. Oh, that's how, like, since when have lawyers been on trial? Since when has who your lawyer is been on trial? The lawyer provides the defense. Why are we now talking about lawyers' resumes? And if we are, we need to pull up Diddy's lawyers' resumes. Because how many cases have they lost in the past 3 years? How many scumbags have they, which I guess is a good thing, cases have they defended? And how many cases have they lost? Again, if we pulling up records, everybody dropped their records and their resumes, and we're going to see, because we need to actually turn the light on Diddy's lawyers. What gives you the right to say this? Didn't how many of your cases just get lost? Weren't you just defending that scumbag that lost? So at the end of the day, let's start looking at Diddy's lawyers. Should we be believing them? Are they authoritative? Do they have anything to say? Because look who they're defending. Anyway, right? Let's keep going. Kim Carter said, let Diddy go. Just let me know the time and location. Action. Give them the streets. We need some old time law for that ASS. A lot of people want to get active on Diddy. Rox Falk said, Tisa, you really need to read the indictment live using code words, of course. People need to know just how sick Diddy is. I am working on getting that indictment, and I will go live to read it. Emily Paseo said, keep preaching, Tisa, and don't stop. Get you some dinner tonight. Prayers to Kathy, Kim, Porter, and all the victims involved, and when the new ones coming forward. Also, we have Aquarium One said, thank you, Tisa, for your dedication to your subscribers. Best news on YouTube. Y'all, thank y'all. Amy Simmons, thank you so much for the super chat. Chantilla said, Tisa, remember Diddy's lawyer said he was an altar boy and listens to the sermon weekly and bought a priest to the bail hearing? They are stunt queens. I didn't know they bought a priest to the bail hearing. This is ridiculous. But again, and we're going to talk about Cassie's lawyers, and we're going to talk about Little Rod's lawyers, and they're going to try to discredit, then you know what? Let's go into Diddy's lawyers. Let's look at the cases they lost. Let's look at the scumbags they defended that are sitting in jail. I'm just saying. Because again, if your client who you defend or who you protect is it said something about your legal skills, and we need to look at all Diddy's lawyers' clients. Cleanback Sneakers said, good points, Tisa. Chipsa 831, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Cleanback Sneakers, thank you so much for that also. And also, who's this? Oh, Kate to the LA said, Kate, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Okay, let's get back into this little
Reference to the videos.
So you filed it today.
Yes, the lawsuit was filed this morning,
this morning.
and we have a case number, which I have provided, and we will pass around to provide my statement, which includes the case number. And this is part of the first page of the complaint. So you want to stand up and put this? Stand up. And there is a redaction on what we're showing you. So just to tell you.
And to right, please.
This is the first page in part and redacted.
Let's see what TMZ has to
Talia, to
say.
your left, please.
Pardon me?
Talia on your right, if you both can look at that. Thank you. And right below her.
Oh,
It's right ahead.
Okay.
And one more this way, please.
and I'll leave this on the table.
Gloria, there's a few networks here that are Spanish speaking, and I'm wondering if your client might be able to give us statement in Spanish, you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I do not understand your question.
After you're done with the English section of the press conference, if your client speaks some Spanish, you should be able to give us a few words in Spanish.
No,
Would
she
she
can't.
please pronounce her name on camera, just so we have the correct?
You wanna pronounce it?
Talia Graves.
Talia.
Okay.
Ms. Gloria, are you in contact with the person who told your client about the video described in the lawsuit?
We cannot disclose who we're in contact with in order to have investigated this claim or any investigation that may ensue after. this press conference.
Gloria, just.
I want to add that if any other person has any evidence that might relate to our complaint, we, of course, would be happy to speak on a confidential basis with any person who may wish to contact us and provide us whatever evidence they wish to provide, and we would thank them for it.
Your client has said that she suffered years and years of trauma, depression, anxiety, because of this alleged attack. Did she come to you after the indictment last week? I'm asking because I'm wondering if those charges.
Okay, the question is, did she come to me after the indictment last week? No.
And as a follow-up, how is your client feeling after those 3 charges were brought against Holmes, even though he denies them?
How is she feeling after
After the charges?
after the criminal charges
Yes,
were filed
yes.
and that he has been arraigned? Okay. You want to comment? No, we're not having her comment, I'm sorry. I would say overall, it's been a very stressful and anxiety-producing experience, and she's lived with all of it for many years. And, is reliving it now. I think she did comment on how she felt about the criminal charges at the end of her statement, and I'm not going to ask her to answer any other questions, with all due respect. It's a fair question, but she's just not going to be answering questions today.
Gloria, can you tell us how your client came to meet Diddy? How she got involved?
How can I tell you how my client
Met Diddy?
met Diddy? I am not going to expand on those details at this press conference, but, any member of the public or press, is of course permitted to see whatever is in the complaint that has been filed in the Southern District of New York.
Gloria, has your client been in contact with any other victims?
Has my client been in contact with any other victims? Or alleged victims? I'm unable to comment on anyone with whom she has been in contact or who has contacted her, because those would be private conversations. So we will maintain the privacy of those conversations. The one thing I don't know if whomever contacted her wanted their conversation to be confidential, so I can't comment on that.
So we'll
Thank
see.
you for the question.
Gloria,
Anything else?
yes, Gloria, this tape, was it secretly made, or was your client aware that she was being taped during the alleged assault, and now has found out that the tape is out there? Or did she never even know that she was being taped during the alleged assault?
I can't comment on the degree of consciousness or lack of consciousness or awareness of Thalia during the alleged rape and during the alleged video taping of the rape. I can say that she would never have consented to the videotaping and did not consent and did not authorize the videotaping, in the same way that she alleges that she would never have consented to be victimized in the way that she alleges that she was. And I think you could see today how upsetting it was for Thalia to have to learn and experience what she alleges that she did learn and experience from that horrific time.
Talia, I'm so sorry, Gloria, are you representing any other women that may also be suing? the
Am I
same
representing any other women?
defendant Other than her?
Okay, so listen, Natalia, we're going to get the indictment and do a live reading. Again, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. However, I stand firm in the fact that Cassie and Little Rod, this woman, I see people are doubting. We'll have to get the details. This woman already, I think she's telling the truth just because of everything Diddy did. However, like that's the thing with the Cassie, with Little Rod, with all this stuff, time will tell. Time will tell. We don't got to sit here and guess and whatnot. Time will tell. Little Rod and Cassie have stood the test of time. So has many other people. Really quick, are you serious? What about the other guy involved? Shouldn't he be locked up too? Again, for him to get locked up, it has to be a criminal complaint. It sounds like Gloria Allred has made a criminal complaint. The feds have to lock people up. All you can do is sue people in court. On top of that, Mega the God said, thank you so much for your response. I didn't think about it like that, but it's still crazy. No females are defending him. No Mary, and no one even close to Puff's friends that's saying a lot. He needs his baby oil there. Exactly, Mega. Exactly. Shamola said, Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnafilo, defended Keith Rainier, who was convicted of raping minors, sex trafficking, and sentenced to 120 years in prison. Thank you, Shamola. This is what I'm saying. The much as they want to talk about Tyrone Blackburn, as much as they want to talk about Cassie's lawyer, let's look at, since we talk about lawyers, let's talk about who Diddy's lawyers are, who they defend. What does that say about them? And also, how many cases they've won. Let's talk about it. Thank you for that. My recipe for life is Soul Food Fairy. Thank you so much for that super sticker. Also, Natalie Oliver. Thank you so much for the Olivia. Is it Oliver or Olivia? Thank you so much for that super sticker. Also, Christina. People keep saying Gloria Allred is gimmicky, but remember when Diddy hired Johnny Cochran, who was the most gimmicky lawyer ever? When you need results, you hire the lawyer who gets results. Listen, to be a good lawyer, you gotta be gimmicky. You gotta be this. Now, that said, I want to get the indictment of this young woman and see what's happening. I'm sure Diddy's team is gonna say they're just gonna say a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day got to end. Let's head out with this press conference. Hold on real quick.
In reference to four men, in reference to Diddy. Yes.
So there's other claims, there are other victims.
This is the first lawsuit that we have filed. And in answer to a question which you have not yet asked, but probably will, am I going to file other lawsuits? I just don't have any comment on that at this time. Any other questions?
So I didn't hear you when I asked if you would be able to comment in Spanish, if she speaks in Spanish.
No. The answer is no. She is not going to be doing any interviews in English, Spanish, or any other language.
But does she speak Spanish?
But thank you for asking.
Does she speak Spanish?
I don't know. Any other questions?
I just have one last question, Gloria. As
Okay.
far as the video
One last
goes-
question,
One
go
last
ahead.
question.
Last question.
As far as the video goes, do you know, or does your client know if there has been more than one copy or multiple people have a version of the video?
I'm not able to comment on whether we know if there is more than one copy of the video.
Mm,
If there is any witness who wishes to contact me confidentially to tell me that they know that someone else has a copy or that they have seen it or been told that someone else saw it online,
mm-hmm.
we would be happy to speak to that person.
Okay.
Is there, I think that's
No,
all
Gloria,
the
just one more
questions.
question. Just for our reporting purposes, is she a New York native?
Is she a New York
Native?
native? I can't tell you
What does that matter?
at this time if she is a New York native. She does not reside in New York at this
That
time.
was a weird question. Is she a New York native?
Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much for coming, and we're gonna hand out copies of our statements.
Okay, so I don't know whether she's a New York native, has anything to do with it. Margaret Johnson, thank you so much for the super chat. Margaret Johnson. Kim Carter, thank you so much for becoming a member. And Boxing for Life said, regardless of how you feel about it, it's Gloria. She's better than her daughter, Lisa Bloom. Y'all know I feel like Lisa Bloom is the ops. I've talked about it a lot of times. We're not going to turn this into a Lisa Bloom, but I don't know. Lisa Bloom's around. Odd things happen. Listen, you guys, there is some stuff going on the Diddy's front. Diddy's team is preparing for a response. On top of that, it looks like Diddy is not eating in jail because of various things. And there is some information on what happened with Diddy, Ava, his daughter, Justin Bieber. You guys, listen, let me get off of here because this live is getting a little bit long. I'm going to get off of here. I'll be back on live in about 20 minutes. We're going to talk about Diddy, what's going on in jail, and also what he said to his kids in the phone call. And then we'll get into the Ava, Justin Bieber. It's dark, but that's going to have to be a separate live, okay? All right, listen, thanks everybody for joining. I'll be back on live in 20 minutes, baby. This is a Diddy marathon, and we're also going to do a fun live where we talk about all the other gossip that's going on. Did y'all hear what's going on with Tia and Tamar Bear? I know it's a lot, but we're going to talk about, Lalia. I love that. Lalia, I love your name. Lalia. I love your name. I love it. Lalia. Okay. Lalia, thank you so much for the super chat. And also, Dominican Chulita said, what the hell they asking where she lives so they can blank her before she testifies? Exactly. Why do you need to know if she's a New York native or where she lives? That was a weird question. But anyway, listen, you guys, I'll be back on live in about 20 minutes. Let's get this going. We're going to talk about all this stuff, including Diddy being on hunger strike. Listen, I'll talk to y'all soon. Mwah.